Episode 11, AI for Entrepreneurs. I'm here with my good friend, partner, Christopher Lane, and a special guest, someone I've worked with for a while. Good friend, good person, extremely intelligent, Mr. Devon House in the building. AI for Entrepreneurs, episode 11, y'all. Let's get it, man. Devon, can you just give me a quick intro or just a little quick introduction about what you do and some of your passions and some of your research. We're going to dig a little bit more into it during our main topic today. I promise y'all it's extremely interesting. I just touched the surface of it and I'm already interested. But yeah, man, can you just give us a quick intro?
Awesome. Absolutely. Well, hello, everybody. My name is Devon House, and I currently reside in Cincinnati, Ohio. I professionally am a clinical trials coordinator, so I work with big pharmaceutical companies to regulate their documentation and make sure that their life-saving medication hits the market. I've been doing this for about the last 10 years. I started off at the University of Cincinnati as a clinical trial coordinator, and I've moved my way up to the point where I've fallen in love with research, fallen in love with clinical trials, and falling in love with creating new knowledge so that we can live our lives in ways that align with who we really are.
Nice. And
Welcome.
artificial intelligence.
Glad to have you here today.
Does play a part in what you do, a big part. I know we were kind of touching on that a little bit offline.
Yeah, and AI, I've been a fan of AI since OpenAI announced that they had an AI. So it's been, I don't know how long they've been in existence, but I've been a big early adopter of their technology since then. And yeah, I've seen so many different connections between my daily life, the daily lives of the people I love and the people I know, and this future that we're facing. I think Sam Altman is kind of alluding to it every time he speaks, but yeah, we have a lot to focus on in the future.
Nice. So this should be a really interesting conversation. I love to learn more about how artificial intelligence really impacts the research space. I know you're involved in think tanks and NGOs and a lot of other things outside of that. So look forward to that conversation. But before we get to there, we have, as always, our segment. I believe Chris is actually changing it up this time. So we used to call it Last Week in AI, but there's been so much happening. I think we're calling it this time This Week in AI because a lot of things happened this week.
Close. Yeah, I got a lot this week. So the new segment's going to be called Weekly AI Brief. It's just going to be our weekly AI brief. And we're going to bring you the essential news and updates in the world of AI as it pertains to entrepreneurs for the most part. I do get on some side topics every now and then. I actually had a few of those side topics prepped for today. But then so much happened this week, just in the first 2 days of the week, that it is going to eat up the entirety of this segment. Just talking about some of these new updates that came out this week. I got a couple of videos to share with everybody. So we're going to start with OpenAI's spring update that happened on Monday. Again, like I said, there's a lot to go through. So I'm going to stick to the highlights and show some video clips. So if you do want to see everything that was announced, I will make sure that the link to the replay for OpenAI's spring update is in the description of this video. But some of the highlights are they came out with a brand new model. The model is GPT-4o, which is twice as fast, twice as cheap. And one of the best parts about this new model is not only is it faster, cheaper, smarter, but it's also going to be available to free and paid users of ChatGPT. Previously, the paid user or the free users only got access to GPT 3.5. So now they're going to be getting the latest and greatest model. Paid users will get more uses per hour than the free version will. But they have a new GPT-4o model. I know I've played with it. It's already built into the Optimize AI tool suite. Ivan, I know you played with it. What are your thoughts on the new model?
I lost you. I can't hear you.
That's weird. Can you hear me now?
Oh, now I can hear you.
Okay. So what are your thoughts on the new model? I know I played with it. I know you got a chance to play with it a little bit.
Oh yeah. The speed, it's extremely fast. I mean, it went from like, I guess like 2 to 3 seconds for a response to like milliseconds. Just typing things out. Like
It is so fast.
I asked it a quick question. It just literally the response almost like just appears on screen, like flashes on screen. I'm really curious to explore the voice, the multi-modality
I
of it
didn't get to
all.
that yet. Shush, 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 shush.
Okay.
I didn't get to
Okay.
that part of the
Very
update
fast.
yet.
Very fast. I haven't really noticed the emotional part yet because I've only played with it from a texting interface. I actually did get access to the
I
free
didn't give that
version on my
update
phone.
yet. Shush, shush, shush. Stop. You're done. Stop talking now.
Okay.
You're giving away the entire
Why are you asking
update.
me for my
We
opinion
only
on
talked
it?
about the new model. I wanted your quick opinion on playing with the new model in the text-based version that is available today.
Fair enough. Okay.
Anyway,
Proceed.
Devon, have you heard about any of this yet?
Absolutely, yeah. I'm a Sam Altman fan. So I literally watch every single thing he says because I'm like, God, can you give me a thought that would manifest in this way, please? But GPT-4 is still on top. Basically, their claims, their presentation was extremely impressive. I thought their presentation could have been like faked. It was like that perfect. I was like, this could be fake. And
if it wasn't for the AI being interrupted several times, I would have thought it was fake.
There were glitches. I was like, they planned those glitches. I knew they planned them. But at the end of the day, OpenAI is just that great. But their claims of it being cheaper, I haven't seen evidence of it. They put their prices up. They just wrote them in a different way.
From my standpoint, it's cheaper as a developer. The API usage cost is half of what GPT-4 Turbo is.
Well, it was just weird how they marketed it. So I wasn't clear about the pricing. I'm like, why would you make such a claim about pricing and not make it as clear as possible? But that was my only critique about was that their marketing is a little bit, because now they're under Microsoft. But I'm excited for GPT-4o. But I'm really excited about what what the API will offer, because if they're offering GPT-4o for free, then I mean that API is going to be lit.
So yeah, so some of the other features that we didn't talk about from this presentation, which is what I stopped Ivan from talking about because we didn't get there yet. First, they did release a new desktop app. It's only available for Mac right now. They are going to work on a Windows release later this year, and that's being rolled out to users as we're recording this video. I was not fortunate enough to get it yet. I'm pretty butthurt about that. I wanted to have it immediately. I like instant gratification, but the desktop app, as well as the updated app and the updated interface on the phone app, are going to be incredibly useful for their new voice feature, which Ivan was talking about. So the app right now on the phones do have a voice feature, but you speak to it, and then you have to sit and you wait for a response, just like you would if you were texting. It's just basically you speak to it and it speaks back. But their new and improved version of this voice feature is instantaneous, real-time conversational. It's a very, very human-sounding voice. It's emotional. It can express emotion in the vocal tones and in the inflection of the voice that it's using. And you can interrupt it just like you can a real person, and it perceives that interruption. It stops talking, but then continues the conversation anyway. And I'm actually going to give you guys a demo for anyone watching who might not have seen this. Let's take a look at a demo of them doing the voice. And this is specifically the emotional side of it. If you guys can't hear this, let me know.
How are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. Thanks for asking. How about you?
Pretty good.
What's up?
So my friend Barrett here, he's been having trouble sleeping lately. And I want you to tell him a bedtime story about robots and love.
Oh, a bedtime story about robots and love? I got you covered. Gather round, Barrett. Once upon a time, in a world not too different from ours, there was a robot named Byte. Byte was a curious robot, always exploring.
I started this story, but I want a little bit more emotion in your voice, a little bit more drama.
Got it. Let's add some drama. Once upon a time, in a world not too different from ours, there was a robot named
No,
Bite.
no, ChatGPT. I really want maximal emotion, like maximal expressiveness, much more than you were doing before.
Understood. Let's amplify the drama. Once upon a time, in a world not too different from ours, there was a robot named Bite. Bite
Actually, can
was
you do this in a robotic voice now?
initiating dramatic
So I'm going to pause that there. But so anyone watching, as you could see, it's able to change the tone. It's able to add emotion to the voice. It's able to make it more dramatic. It's able to, and you're able to interrupt it and keep speaking to it. It's almost as if there were another person in the conversation rather than it being an AI like you have in the voice feature now. And I'm not going to play a video of this, but one of the other really good examples of that ability came when they demoed real-time translation. So the woman on stage spoke Italian and the gentleman didn't. So he would speak English, and then instantly the AI would speak in Italian to the woman. She'd respond in Italian, and it would instantly translate it to English for the person. So having this new ability is absolutely like amazing. Just being able to speak to it as if it were a real person. And I'm gonna get your thoughts on that, but before we do, there's one more piece of this that I want to show, which is their new vision capability. You've always been able to, in ChatGPT, use vision by uploading an image, and it can tell you what was in the image. But built into this new app, not only on the phone app, but on the desktop app, you can either share a video real time from your camera, and it can comprehend and talk about what's in the video, and from your desktop, you can share your desktop screen. So while you're sharing, if you're working on code, if you're working on something, the AI can tell what you're working on, see what you're working on, and offer real-time live help and suggestions to assist you, rather than having to do screenshot and wait and screenshot and wait. So let me share the screen again, and let's go to this video demo here. In this particular example, the AI is going to walk him through solving a math problem.
Today, I'd really like your help solving a math problem.
I'm all ears. What math problem can I help you tackle today?
So I'm going to write down a linear equation on a sheet of paper, and I'll show you. And then I'd love your help working me through it. But importantly, don't tell me the solution. Just help give me hints along the way.
Got it.
Yeah, see, there's one of those
Okay, I
little
see it.
interruptions going on
I
right
didn't show
there,
you yet.
where I could
Just
tell
give me
it
help
wasn't
along the way.
staged.
1 second.
Unless they did it on purpose.
Whoops. I got too excited. I'm ready when you are.
I don't have the paid version of YouTube, so we're going to get an ad in here. Anyone want to go to Marriott? I should have switched my personal account. We are not sponsored
What
by
the
them.
science is showing us is the
Or
universe
them.
appears to be alive, it appears to be conscious.
All right.
So, ChatGPT, what equation did I write down there?
Ah, I see it now. You wrote down 3x plus 1 equals 4.
Yep,
Let's work-
exactly. So what's the first step I should take to try to solve this?
The first step is to get all the terms with x on one side and the constants on the other side. So what do you think we should do with that plus 1?
Okay, I'm going to try to subtract 1 from both sides, and then I'll see what I get.
So I'm not going to play too much more of that. You can go watch that on your own. But in real time, using the video camera, you're able to give the AI vision. So in that instance, it was walking him through what could be homework for your child. Or it could be walking you through how to do something so you can actually learn from the AI rather than it just giving you the answer. So now I open it up in its full. What are everyone else's thoughts on this release from OpenAI?
Yeah, my first reaction when I heard that, when I saw the presentation, I was like, wait, ChatGPT could teach me math? Like, I was like, literally, I've been shocked every time they release a new feature. I'm literally shocked. And I think that particularly will change the game. I know, for instance, in my family, if you go from one school district to the other, it's like super hard for children to catch up in school and things of that nature. And so this kind of tool is a game changer. I know for me as a person who self-studies a lot, I can't wait to start learning new kinds of math or old kinds of math that I thought I knew. But now this computer is now able to really lay it out for me.
Not
It's
even
really
just
cool.
math. I'm sure it could teach you coding. It could teach you pretty much anything where someone needs to visually help you interact.
Right.
Sorry, go ahead, Ivan. I cut you off.
Oh no, I mean that's kind of where I was thinking. Like, you know, I'm not big into math, but I'm huge into just learning, right? And being able to just, you know, open up the AI and point to the screen and get information on who produced that scene or who produced that movie, or you know, let's say you're trying to fix your car or something, you know, trying to change a tire, so, you know, something happens and you can just, you know, bring out your phone and what do I do next? What do I do first, right? Just having a portable artificial intelligence that can see, hear, and process and speak to you in real time, and just that naturally, it really changes the way we deal with technology in terms of like input output, right? Like if let's say you wanted to, I used YouTube to learn how to do something with my car. I forget what it was. It wasn't something like too hard or something crazy, but it was like to add engine coolant. I don't know how to add engine coolant on my truck, so I had to Google it, right? So I Googled it, got to YouTube, then you're like searching for specific YouTube videos. You're trying to find the right YouTube video. Or actually, it was like how to jump my car, right? I didn't know how to jump my car, and I wasn't sure where the red wire went, where the black wire went, right? And you know, with the car I drive, it's German, so it's a little bit different in terms of like the way the battery is laid out. So I wanted to find a specific YouTube video that specifically gave information on that particular vehicle. And you know, it took me a while. I had to find a YouTube video. It just wasn't as intuitive as if I was just able to just break out the AI, scan my car, be like, do you know what kind of car this is? Oh yeah, you're driving this, and that. Can you walk me through how to jump charge my battery for this specific model, right? And then be able to just, you know, boom, boom. Like there was like a little like negative, but it wasn't like, you know how like the negative is usually like a battery or something like that. It was like a little rod. I had to find the rod. But like with this, I could just, you know, scan the inside of my car and it will tell me, oh, I think the rod is right there next to this thing right there, right? Just being able to see, hear, and process. Oh, come back. Oh, my little...
Your camera's having a seizure.
Yeah, it's an AI.
It's AI and it's going the wrong direction. Where are you going? What is happening here?
It probably can see ghosts. No shade. Sorry.
All right, I'm here.
That's a whole different discussion. I'll have that conversation for hours
I'm
offline.
here. That was weird. It just went. But yeah, for artificial intelligence, for you to be able to, like, you know, be able to see, hear, process that in real time, and you know, give you feedback in real time, whether it's audio, video, etc., is extremely powerful. And I think it changes the way we deal with technology going forward, right? Like gone are the days of keyboards. Gone are the days of yeah, man, gone are the days of keyboards, right? Like, it's like, I think they're going to start getting real extinct. Like when you can speak to it that clearly, it's just more efficient. It's literally it's becoming more efficient to just speak to the AI than to type to the AI. Because
It's
you can
more
speak to it,
efficient, but at
then
the
you can
same time,
interrupt
could you
it.
imagine being in public?
Keyboards.
Sorry, what
But
you
could
say,
you
Noah?
imagine being in public where everyone's just talking to their fucking phone all the goddamn time? I'd want to hit people, so many
I mean,
people, and tell them to shut the fuck up.
That's
Don't
the
ever
world
come to
of
Cincinnati.
2024.
Everybody does that in
Or
Cincinnati.
could you
I think it's
imagine
one of the
being in
oddest-
Manhattan with everybody walking around being like, hello, can you please open up my Instagram? Scroll,
Right.
scroll, scroll.
Well, to Ivan's point, the smartphone has technically taken away the keyboard. I mean, I'm a keyboardist. Like, I took keyboarding in school, and it's the most frustrating thing to have to type on a piece of glass. So I think we've already been moving in that direction. They're taking away cursive in the school. They're taking away this and that. We're taking away our fine hand movement. I think we've already kind of been on that direction. But I don't want keyboards to go away. I like these different inputs. Hopefully we get to keep them, but you never know what the future holds.
Truth.
Yeah, no, I like
So,
keyboard. I like typing. I like it. It's getting to the point to where it's literally becoming just more efficient to speak.
Jarvis-esque.
Like, even if I'm sitting in front of my desktop, I could type my directions to the AI, wait for its response, read the response, then type my revisions, or I can speak to it. It's going to start giving me a response. I can interrupt it naturally, like, oh, nope, you're going in the wrong direction. Really what I wanted was more of this. It starts giving me another response. Actually, let's refine it this way. Like I can fast forward the process of interacting and directing that AI almost as if I was speaking to a human, right? Think about it. If I'm trying to convey information to one of you guys, there's one thing me sending you a text message, right? But what do we do when we really want to get something done? We call each other. Because we can get to the message, we can get to what we're trying to, whatever it is we're trying to accomplish, and brainstorm it and synthesize it quicker just by verbally communicating. And that's kind of what's happening with AI and just the use of technology as a whole, being able to like literally just communicate to it. And that's amazing. I'm really I like you are a fan of big fan of Sam Altman. I think he got a little Steve Jobs in him. And when he said like this changes the way we interact with technology and just kind of dreamlike, it is. Like it's kind of, y'all seen the movie Her, or just all those like sci-fi movies where you're just you have your Jarvis, from Marvel, Iron Man. We're rapidly getting to that day, and I just can't wait to play with it, man. I keep opening up ChatGPT, hoping like they released the audio video part, but alas.
Wait till I get to my last bit of news for the day. It was just I found out about it this morning. But before I get to that, we're gonna go to who did it better. So now we're gonna go to Google's update, which was on Tuesday. So I feel like OpenAI specifically and purposely put theirs on Monday, really to step on Google's toes. While there's some toe stepping, so we're gonna play who did it better. Google had way more in their update. It was a 2-hour event. So again, we're gonna start with they came out with the more efficient Google Gemini Pro model. They also came out with Google Gemini 1.5 Flash, which is a stripped down text only super fast version of Google Gemini 1.5. So one of the biggest differences between Google Gemini 1.5 and GPT-4o, GPT-4o has 128,000 token context window. So it can only comprehend things within 128,000 token context moving down your conversation. Google Gemini has a 1 million token context window right now. Within the coming weeks, that is going to be doubled to a 2 million context window. You'll have the ability to upload entire YouTube series to it and have it comprehend and understand everything from every one of those videos. I think that 2 million token context window can do something like 3 hours worth of video and so it could comprehend an entire Zack Snyder director's cut of something, an entire Lord of the Rings movie, and comprehend everything from start to finish and then converse with you about it. So the context window on Google is far superior to any other model that exists today. But then on top of that, I'm going to play a video for you guys. I don't know if anyone's watched the event, but I'm going to specifically speak on their project Astra, which is very similar to OpenAI's video feature. Let me share my screen here. There we go.
Okay, let's do some tests. Tell me when you see something that makes sound.
I see a speaker, which makes sound.
This part's really cool.
What is that part of the speaker called?
That is the tweeter. It produces high-frequency sounds.
Give me a creative alliteration about these.
Creative crayons color cheerfully. They certainly craft colorful creations.
What does that part of the code do?
This code defines encryption and decryption functions. It seems to use AESCBC encryption to encode and decode data based on a key and an initialization vector, IV.
That's right. What neighborhood do you think I'm in?
This appears to be the King's Cross area of London. It is known for its railway station and transportation connections.
Do you remember where you saw my glasses?
Yes, I do. Your glasses were on the desk near a red apple.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's where I said we're going to play Who Did It Better, because while OpenAI's demo of their vision features was really cool, this was better in my opinion. The way that and I don't know if OpenAI's vision version can do the same thing, but I know for a fact Google's can, and their larger context window. That's why I wanted to make sure I really reference the 1 million now coming to 2 million context window, because the amount of stuff that it can remember that it's seen as you're walking through the room and as you're going through your daily life is right now 9 to 10 times larger than what OpenAI can do, and soon about to be 19 times larger than what OpenAI can do. OpenAI might remember 20 minutes of your conversation, whereas, Google could remember 3 hours of your conversation if you were doing a straight, like, almost video chat conference. Another one of the demos that they did with their video function was using it to watch their Zoom meeting. And then the AI would chime in and give the person in the meeting tips and tricks and things to say, and then also give a full summary of the meeting and sent an email from Gmail with a meeting summary after the meeting was over. Because that's the other thing that Google is doing that OpenAI can't really do because they don't make phones. Google is building all of these features directly into the Android operating system natively, right from the phone. Coming soon, it's going to be built right into the operating system. So natively in the Google camera, which is what they were using there, that wasn't a Google app. That was just the camera on an Android phone. And you can enable Google right on the device itself. So
they got the lead.
I think Google might have an edge up there with their Android phones just because of the cool things. Not only that, but they're integrating all of their AI very, very heavily into the Google Suite. Like I said, like it could send an email. You can just summarize what emails you have unread. You could use it in all of their Google, like Google Docs, Google Sheets, and you'll be able to speak with it. So you can open up a spreadsheet with your finances and have it just walk you through how to organize your finances. Be like, all right, can you find everything on the sheet that is from, Walmart and categorize it as this in column B? And then it'll go and it'll make those updates in your spreadsheet real time. So you'll actually have someone you could speak to do the work you want to get done in your Google ecosystem.
Yeah, I think they definitely have the lead right now. It's almost like in terms of, let me give it context. The lead in terms of integration with a mobile device. They're almost doing what you would think Apple would do, right? Like Apple is really heavy in like total integration and adding a technology to where you can seamlessly use it across multiple devices. And when it comes to AI, it's kind of like Google's doing that, right? Like they're taking the same AI, they're putting it in your phone, they're putting it in your inbox and your Google suite of tools. They're just really seamlessly merging it with their Android operating system. OpenAI, there's a lot of rumors that OpenAI and Apple are working on a deal to do the same. And
since you mentioned it, I'll jump ahead. They solidified that deal.
They did solidify.
They have officially solidified that deal. So OpenAI will be powering Siri.
So now, yeah, so game changer. So like now at this point, it's like we both see the direction that they're going in, right? I think that Google presentation really gives you a good sneak peek in terms of how they're going to be integrating AI into your mobile devices. But now let's take that and combine OpenAI, which kind of has the lead in terms of the level of intelligence that the artificial intelligence can achieve, and then mix that with Apple, which is Apple, and historically always integrates things at a high level.
Better.
Yeah. I'm really excited, man. I'm just really excited being, again, just as an entrepreneur, as a human being, as a nerd, a technologist. There's a lot of things that are, I think, changing the next 3 months that are empowering us all, and I'm just excited to play with it. Like I just want to break out my camera
Me
and
too.
talk to the AI in real time and forget about being productive. I just want to play with it. It's crazy.
Yeah,
Devon, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I actually disagree with Google and their assertion that they're, this groundbreaking. I think Alphabet dropped the ball, plain and simple.
Really?
These things, they've spent the last 15, 20 years putting speakers and cameras in our houses, buying Nest and doing all this stuff, and they still are late. Like, so I'm just like, it's just weird to me that they've spent all this time and money acquiring all these companies, all these inputs for this AI, and they haven't done anything with it until now. I think they also overpromise a lot. They've overpromised Gemini every step of the way.
I'll give you that 100%.
It's been trash, like literally trash, compared to the other AIs. So I think it's good marketing. I think they're on a good track. I think because they've integrated themselves in our daily lives through our browsers and stuff, they are not allowing people to speak against them. So I think that it's good. The direction they're going is good. They are going in a direction, but they dropped the ball completely. I feel bad for them because, yeah.
I will say, even this new model, I don't use 1.5 for any text generated or generative AI. I just don't.
I check it. I use a local model. I just put it. I have a local copy of Gemini, and I'm just like, I just rather use Mistral. I'd rather use something else. If I'm going to do
Mistral's
that. So
a good one.
Google has a lot to improve upon. I think they have this vision part down because they are actively working with like China and stuff to like beef up their surveillance state. So I don't know. I'm skeptical. But I'm hopeful because I need the AI to go to my emails. I need the AI to do certain stuff for me because I have like not hundreds, but probably like tens of thousands of Gmail junk. So there's a utility for it, but as far as Google coming into my home and looking at stuff and knowing what's here, I'm like, it's giving too much too soon. But I think they're just reacting at this point. But yeah, I really believe they dropped the ball, but it is exciting. It is exciting to see the direction and the improvements.
Yeah, for me, it's just to see the direction that they're going with mobile devices and really what's possible with Apple, right? So it's like Google is usually like Android, Google, when it comes to their mobile devices, they're usually first, right? They debut a lot of technology that ends up being in iPhones and Apple devices a couple years down the line, right? So like Google will debut
Apple wants to do it perfectly.
Apple will always have the best better,
right? Yeah,
right. So Android to me is almost like a tech preview, right? And so it's cool seeing the tech preview of what our iPhones will probably be able to do in like a year or so.
Next year, yeah.
It's cool to see. It's cool to see the direction that we're going in. Obviously I want to see Apple do it because they're going to do it a little bit better. But it's just wow. Like, I'm just excited again just to be able to like pick up my phone and be able to talk to an artificial intelligence that can see me, hear me, understand me.
Devon, you disappeared.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. Hold on just a second.
All right, while Devon works out some technical difficulties, I'm going to jump into the last little bit because we are at 35 minutes already. And so I want to wrap this up so we can really start talking about our main topic today, which is AI and research. So the last thing that the last thing I'm going to discuss that Google spoke about really comes on the heels of OpenAI and Sora. They came out with their own video generation model. It's called VO. And honestly, looking through some of the samples, it will generate 1080p video. It can generate up to a minute long video clips. And looking at some of these samples that I've seen, it is on par, if not better video quality than what I was seeing in the demos from OpenAI. Personal opinion, but I mean, look at the quality of that. This looks like something that would be in the National Geographic documentary.
Yeah.
And this was generated using their model. And again, 1080p up to a minute, because Sora isn't going to be released publicly, at least anytime soon, from what I can tell. I don't know what the specs are. It never says how long of a video it could generate, what the quality of the video is. But this, they do plan on releasing publicly. And this can do 1080p up to a minute long. So using it for B-roll, using it to generate, just some footage for videos, faceless YouTube. I think it's going to be massive, because not only can you generate the video, but you can also prompt it and make updates to something it's already generated, which again, other than just showing us some video clips, OpenAI hasn't really given us much details about Sora because there's not a public release planned. So I definitely think they're going to, if now OpenAI may go ahead and release Sora because of the constant, billionaire pissing contest. So I'm very curious to see what comes after this gets its public release. I am personally on a waiting list for this. I know you are too.
Yeah. No, I am as well. And I had the same sentiment that you had upon seeing it. Finally, some competition, right? Because when you leave OpenAI with the only company that has like this level of video creation, generation AI, it lessens the need for them to release it. It lessens the need for them to put it out, right? They can kind of slow roll it. Where now,
like they're licensing with Adobe.
Exactly. Now Google comes out with VO. It's like, all right, we don't own the market on video AI. They can make their own video AI, and they might put it out there. So as the consumer, as someone who just wants to be able to
spectacular.
Exactly. As a consumer, as someone who wants to be able to play with video AI, who wants to create B-rolls for my reels and things that I, content that I put out as a creative person, I want access to this type of technology as fast as humanly possible. I don't care if it's Sora, I don't care if it's Google VO, I don't care if Adobe comes out.
Whoever comes out first, I'll be using that one.
I'll be using that one. So on that note, the more people that start building things and can push the others along to get it into my hands the fastest, kudos to them. Shout out Google. Thank you for bringing VO out. I can't wait to play it. I can't wait to try it. I feel like that's what are your thoughts on this really for Google? To play with yet is video generative AI.
Video, right?
Honestly, I heard
a little bit in Leonardo, but it gives you that 5-second clip, and that's about where it ends with Stable Diffusion.
I definitely heard Tyler Perry, like, he's canceled an expansion of his soundstage after watching this. I don't know if that's a rumor or not. It's probably like a Twitter thing, but these kind of things.
No, that was real.
Yeah, I'm glad you're able to confirm it, because I wasn't surprised. And I was more surprised that Hollywood uses his sound stages more than they use Hollywood sound stages. But I wasn't surprised that he stopped his production of his new soundstage, because I'm like, yeah, video is way different. I've even dabbled in Unreal Engine and trying to understand how Star Wars makes movies with LED screens and stuff. It's changed dramatically. I know there's in other countries, like in like Nollywood, or what is the version of like the Indian version of India of like Hollywood?
Oh, Bollywood.
Yeah, Bollywood rather, and Nollywood for Nigeria. They've been revolutionizing filmmaking just in their own circles. So giving them AI will only expand it. Tubi, I just watched a Tubi movie yesterday. So I'm like, these lower budget filmmakers will have so much so many more tools, even just for like something like a podcast. Even Ivan's background right now, what if Ivan could like really be in like an entire new place, where he could just
Like an
kind of
immersive.
right.
Yeah.
And it's just like really cool to see what's coming. So I'm excited for the future. I don't want to be a Debbie Downer too much on Gemini, but I just want them to step their game up just slightly. Yeah.
I agree. No, I definitely agree. The model itself is not anywhere near the par of GPT-4, let alone GPT-4o. Claude Opus blows it out of the water, and Llama's already pretty close, and that's an open source model.
Right.
So I do have to agree with you there, but I'm hoping that this new, I'm hoping that all the, the new advancements and the competition is really, really going to bring out something better in them.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, we want to empower, I'm in it for me, right? I want to empower myself as a fellow creators, fellow entrepreneurs. We want things that's going to empower us, right? So like, I don't really care if one AI is slightly better than the other AI. At the end of the day, what's going to help me get whatever it is I'm trying to get done quicker, faster, right? You can have this really super intelligent AI that's leaps and bounds beyond the AI that I might have available in an app on my phone, right? But what's going to be more helpful when I'm in a jam and I just need to get access to AI real quick, right? The slightly less intelligent AI that's on my phone, whether it's if I have an Android phone or whatever AI it is, right? It doesn't. The point being,
accessibility
matters. Accessibility matters. Sora is extremely powerful and incredible, but we can't access it. So I don't really care about it. Like, I need something that I can actually use to get things done. So, just watching these different companies and watching them kind of compete with each other, and just seeing like Google's direction in terms of making it more accessible, right? They're not necessarily building the best AI. They're just building AI and really baking it into their devices. Cool, do that part, right? Because that'll help me as a consumer later. Meanwhile, OpenAI is doing a really good job. Hume is doing a really good job in terms of building in emotions and whatnot. Cool, keep doing that, because that'll help me as a consumer a little bit later as well, right? I like all the advancements, especially video Sora, right? Because now that's just more video tools, more video AI generation tools that I can use, that other creators can use, kind of like what Devon was saying in terms of just helping, like, people who don't have the budgets and the money to put together big movies, right? But have beautiful ideas in their heads. And now they're going to have access to not one, but two different video AI generation things where they can actually turn those ideas into reality. Like, and I just think the more power we put into people's hands, the more we, help with their ability to express themselves and create. The more things that get created, it's just a beautiful thing, man. So yeah, that's my little.
So that is it for our weekly AI brief. Like I said, I was gonna mention the Apple and OpenAI solidified their agreement, maybe do some speculation on what that may mean. But since we're 43 minutes in, I absolutely want to give a formal introduction to Devon and let you take it away, sir.
Well, thank you so much.
I'm going to let Ivan do a formal introduction. Okay. Or Devon, you could do a formal introduction. I'm going to sit back and shut up now.
So Devon's, like I said, Devon's someone I worked with for a while, known for a while, a really good brother, really intelligent person. I know you're involved in research. I know you're a scientist. You're into think tanks, into just getting information out to the public, but doing so with a more clinical eye than the regular person may look at things. But yeah, man, tell us a little bit more about like what you got going on right now, kind of like your past that led up to where you're at right now, and how AI plays a role in all of it.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you so much for the invitation to be here today. I've really enjoyed myself talking about AI. You don't really get a chance to nerd out like this in public because unless people are early adopters, they're scared of robots. They're scared. They're watching Terminator. But when I watched Terminator, specifically Terminator 3, because it was just free on YouTube the other day, I was like, wait, I want to see what the AI can do. Can they come from the future and kill us? Like, let them try, because I want to see it happen. So I'm kind of like,
if you can, come here now. Right now.
Just show me what you can do. Show me.
Don't come to my house.
I was waiting. No one showed up in my house. Yeah. Sorry.
But it's those moments as a kid watching the Matrix and watching all of this futurism playing out in front of our eyes, to see it now manifest is like super cool to me. So what led me to that kind of feeling was I've always wanted to study digital media in school and in my hobbies and stuff. I've always been kind of like a hobbyist with creativity and music and things of that nature. But what I noticed was that at the time that I was trying to get into the industry, it wasn't developed. Facebook wasn't really developed yet. MySpace was kind of clicking down. And so I never really got a chance to like get into it formally. But as a self-studier, I ended up in research. I ended up, in a serendipitous situation where I met my future boss and then kind of worked for him for 10 years at the University of Cincinnati, and then moved on to a bigger pharmaceutical company. And for privacy reasons, I can't share, but I can share on back end. It's not that fancy, but it's just private. Anyway, but on the back end, I've always wanted to convene scholars because I've worked at the University of Cincinnati. I worked in the College of Medicine for nearly a decade, like 9.5 years. And what I've noticed is that scholars are just friends with each other. They go golfing and they do all this stuff together. So on one end, I'm like, I want my own research company. Like, I love research. I think there's not enough people of color in research, or not enough men in research. There are a lot of principal investigators. There are a lot of doctors, but there's not a lot of people, just regular people like me. When I go to the National Institute of Health to go meet Dr. Fauci's assistant, I'm like the only black guy. I'm the only guy, and I'm the only black guy. So I'm like, we have not only a disparity in terms of just access to that space, but we also have a disparity in the way that research is conducted. Because, as I just mentioned, Dr. Fauci, our FDA regulates how we operate and how we approve and market and stuff like that. It's kind of a high tower, kind of a closed tower. So I created a think tank called glenride.org, where it's under construction, but it's where I have a repository of information for scholars, and we study the global supply chain. And so the global supply chain is what I think AI was created for. That's just my theory from my research brain, because the pandemic gave us like a culture shock almost. We shut down our economy, we shut down our lives, and we just kind of just been chilling. But as the economy has opened back up, they said, oh, the supply chain. McDonald's is not open because of the supply chain. We don't have milk because of the supply chain. We don't have this because of the supply chain. But it's been like 2 years. I said, what supply chain is this? And so I started looking into it. I read many books, fiction and nonfiction. I read some fiction about just the future without privacy. What if we were online all the time and privacy was the new currency? So kind of
it seems like it's heading that way.
Honestly, and it was called Bandwidth, actually. It's on Amazon Kindle, but
Bandwidth, I'll have to check that out.
Yeah, it was really cool. Like, you had to like go into a special space just to talk to somebody privately, and like you were rich if you were able to do that. But paralleling that with real assessments of our global supply chain, human birth rate that we're currently experiencing, or the low birth rate that many countries are experiencing right now. Like, there are entire cities of men, because people have thought that aborting girls was like better or something. So like, we have like the really big issue with our birth rate, and the fact that there was never another baby boom.
Right.
And there's just not enough.
Well, now with the economy, people just aren't having kids because it's just not cost effective. And kids cost a lot of damn money.
Exactly. It's very expensive. And there just wasn't another war. There wasn't another reason to have a baby boom. And now that we're kind of like in this conflict or we're looking at this Israel thing, that is still a vestige from that war. Like, we're still resolving issues from World War II. So there was really no like restart of the world. So that leads me to ponder why do we have so much AI, and why is it all open source? And Sam Altman alludes to it every time he speaks. He says, like, this is going to change our life. Everyone's going to have their own AI. And that,
Yeah.
I believe him, because we're going to need one, because there's not enough people working at the electric plant. There are not enough landscapers, and all those little things that we take for granted are going to go away if we don't figure out something, or if we don't minimize our footprint on this planet. And so I don't think that part's going to happen. I don't think we're really going to like stop being America in the way that we
Right.
produce and consume, but AI will probably take the place of a lot of jobs. Like, for instance, when I worked at AstraZeneca, I worked at a pharmaceutical company called AstraZeneca for almost 2 years. I ended up automating my own job away because I was a subject matter expert for database and Airtable and all this stuff like that. And I was able to automate their whole, what my piece was, I was able to automate it. And they said, okay, well, thank you for your time. And I said, I know.
Right. Thank you for doing, yeah.
I said, what the heck? But even people that have like super like administrative technical jobs are being affected. But the global supply chain is a huge factor in our lives. And I don't think the everyday person is thinking of their milk and the source of their meat and the source of their clothing and stuff like that. That comes across the world. And what's actually happening in real time that we're not witnessing is that these countries are closing their borders to trade.
Right.
And so our global supply chain has already been messed up, and it's only going to be further disrupted by AI and the automations that we create, but we have to get on board with it. We can't be afraid with. That's my hope for the future, is to get people to a place where we live in a symbiotic relationship, because our governments do not make decisions on their feelings. Well, yes, they do, but they have to justify them with data.
Right.
And so where do they get that?
Well, yes, exactly.
And they get
at
that
the end
data
of the day, it does come down to data. Sorry.
And unfortunately, no, I agree with you. Unfortunately, we need more think tanks, just like we need more AI to combat the Terminator level of AI. For instance, I think just when the AI was first created, everybody had kind of like a what is it called, like a shock or a fear against it, and they were like, "Oh my gosh, we're going to have an apocalypse." But what I've always maintained is that the only way to beat a bad AI is to have more AI.
Yeah.
Because AI can only fight AI if you watch the movies. So, we're going to have open source. We're going to have open discussions about these things, but we're going to need to engage our scholars in a way that is formal enough that our government will listen to us, so that we can really speak to our own needs. So, I don't want to keep rambling on. Thank you so much for the ability to share that. Please join my community at glenride.org if you have a passion for research, or if you are an investigator and would like to circumvent or subvert the elitism of academia. That's really what I'm trying to do, but it's still in a way that is evidence driven and based in some sort of reality, but focused on people, not just Dr. Fauci's rules. So thank you again.
Oh, no, this is super interesting. Actually, so I have some questions. So specifically, obviously, when you're doing research, it involves a lot of finding reputable sources to uncover all of these different data points in order to put together your formal kind of like research presentation. How has AI kind of changed the way that you do that from, back when you started to now, especially with things like, the hallucinations that some of these AIs have sometimes, including the newer models like OpenAI or Google or Llama, like how do you kind of circumvent those hallucinations? How do you determine what is a reliable source from the AI versus something that's absolutely do you have to investigate every single thing that the AI says? Can you talk a little bit more about that?
Absolutely. Yeah, I think one of the biggest missteps for us using this AI is the fact that we just use it as a secretary, as a writer, as a note taker and stuff. And the AI, given this vision thing, like imagine being able to just look at a molecule or look at something and be able to create a novel medication based on
Right, right.
research.
Give it that
So,
real-time feed of what the microscope is seeing and seeing the
absolutely.
behavior of.
Yeah, and that's the most
Oh
exciting
yeah.
thing in research for me, because all of the AI use Python. That's basically what your data is. That's the format of your medical record in anyway. So
Yeah.
they already have the ability to analyze many things. It's just the privacy aspect of it. If we, because all of this stuff is confidential and has a lot of rules on it. Yeah, that's the biggest barriers, who owns the data, and then also the copyright issue, because there's no the Supreme Court has already kind of been like, well, it's not a human didn't make it, so there's not a copyright on it. So I don't know
Right.
how that would work with patents and stuff like that. So I think that's why we need a think tank. None of these
Mm.
questions are answered. This is the
To
kind of
yeah, exactly. Yeah,
things
to
are
help
there
come
for.
up with the answers to these questions, and I think that's actually where open source models are going to be the most beneficial, where there is, in order to even use it, you need to give it proprietary information, top secret information, but you can't do that and send it out to OpenAI. You can't send that out to Google, no matter
all
how
going
much
through
they're
Amazon.
secure.
Yeah.
You definitely
Through
can't
Amazon
send it to
servers.
Amazon. You can't even talk about it in front of your Alexa device.
Right.
Yeah.
So, but those open source models that you can install locally within your own server ecosystem and then give it a walled garden, I think those are going to be the most beneficial for companies, especially pharma companies, things where they want their research to be proprietary and not just accessible by any other third-party companies who just happen to have access to their data.
Absolutely. Yep. And I think right now databases are the biggest application for them. I'm in an audit right now where I wish I could just, can you just count these, please? I have 680 different documents I have to review, and I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to use Excel functions, but in the future we're going to be using OpenAI or something, because
Yeah.
this is ridiculous, given the technology that's available.
Mm-hmm.
So based on your understanding of AI and where do you see it in the next year? Like where do you see it 1 year from now, 1 year from today? You see kind of just like
Honestly,
what we have, but just a little bit better. Do you see anything groundbreaking? Do you think we reach like AGI? Just what are your
so
thoughts?
Bill Gates, I'm also a Bill Gates stan, not really, but I watch him a lot too, because I just want to like watch the rich people just talk to me, just see if I can glean something. But he he saw GPT-4. If OpenAI released GPT 3.5 in January, he already had seen GPT-4 in the August prior to that or something like that, and that's what prompted them to invest in OpenAI. So because Microsoft has already known a lot of this stuff already, I'm like literally just a kid in a candy shop just waiting for something to happen, because I literally do not know. What I think is the most promising is Google's investment in AI chips specifically. We're definitely going to need those AI chips. We're going to need our AI machines, our workspaces. Because I just bought a new Mac Studio with 24 cores or 20 something, I don't know, and it's good enough. It's 64 gigs of RAM, so it's good enough to run like some pretty cool local models. But I can't test the new Gemini. I can't test the unquantized one. So we're going to need those beefed up machines. I know Microsoft is also integrating. They're going to have a whole new operating system. So that's where I think it's going to go. Operating systems and more devices like the Humane Pen and the Rabbit. I thought about getting a Rabbit. I would have gotten a Humane Pen if it wasn't
so stupid.
And I think it's so cool.
Also, these new updates pretty much make the Rabbit obsolete, other than the fact that you could wear it on your freaking shirt.
Yeah.
Just get a little pocket and have your phone camera stick out, and you got the same thing now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's just so interesting, the ideas that people come up with, but it is the hardware needs to be improved greatly, because we just don't have. But also, the models, I think my thing is that they're going to get dumber. Actually, these model like GPT-4 is like top of the line because I think they put their all into it, but they realize that it's so expensive to run for $20 a month for us to only pay 24 bucks a month. That's where they came out with 4.0, because they're like, okay, compute is the new oil. We need to decrease this computing expenses. So 4.0 is really
Did
not
you
better than
see
4.
that their new supercomputer that OpenAI and Microsoft are building? They're also building their own nuclear reactor just to power it, because if they powered that computer from our current power grid, it would take down the grid because of the amount of power that computer is going to need to run.
Only going to consume more. So we're going to have more resources, more this, more that, but there's less people. So I guess it'll equal out. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm going to have to build a rig for Windows just to compete. I'm going to have both.
Yeah, because parallels won't actually, the parallels won't be able to run as efficiently as just getting one of the new NVIDIA chips.
Absolutely. Yep. So it'll be, you're going to have to really save up for a new computer. Computers are not going to be $1,000 anymore. They're going to be $6,000. Yeah, and you're going to need 2 versions of them.
Especially if you're a Mac guy, you're still going to want your AI machine. Well, on the so now you're looking at 10 grand just to have some good, decent computers for work.
Absolutely. Yep. So yeah, I think it's exciting, but it'll be a transition nonetheless.
So before we get out of here, I know you have an event coming up next week. Can you just give us a little bit of information regarding the event?
Yeah, so for any entrepreneurs or new creators or new people that want to connect with top leaders in the industry and business, I am throwing an inaugural event. It's called Bombily. It's a program of Glenride. It's a virtual summit for the free and open to the public for young and aspiring entrepreneurs who want to build a personal brand and start creating content for social media, just like a podcast like this, because social media is very much a part of marketing. And I think people, they get wrapped up in the facade of the glitz and glam of the money and all that kind of stuff. But there are a lot of technical pieces, including the integration of AI into business process, that I think are important for us to speak about. So I have my good friend Matt from Path Robotics, and I have the CEOs from other companies. I can't remember exactly the name of I'm thinking of their domain name, not their.
Yeah, we did put you on the spot real quick right there.
No, it's okay. But we have exciting speakers. I have a partner, my partner Trinity Funderburk. She is an expert in public relations, and my little brother helping me. So it's just kind of like it's a community event for people who want to increase their skills, level up their skills, and 1000x their life. Because I have personally working with Ivan and you, or Ivanlee and you, Chris, and working with other really successful people. There are a lot of opportunities to collaborate, and I want to share how I did it and how others can do it. So you can go to bombily.com. It's BOMBILY.com and sign up for free. Get yourself a free ticket, and we'll be broadcasting on Tuesday at 10 a.m. and we can't wait to see you there. There's
awesome, and I'll make sure that link makes it right in the description below. This will be out on Friday, so anyone watching, you have plenty of time to still go sign up before Tuesday.
Yep, it's the 21st of May, 10 a.m. See you there.
And you might even catch me and Chris tapped in.
Absolutely.
That's right.
Little segment. Can't wait for the event, man. It's been a pleasure, Devon, as always. Thank you for stopping by, giving your insights regarding AI in the world of research.
Anytime you want to come on back, you just want to nerd out with us, we nerd out every Wednesday at about 12 o'clock. That's when we record. So you want to come and nerd out with us, you are always more than welcome to come join.
Cool. Thank you again.
100%. All right, y'all.
Like,
so that
share,
does it.
Subscribe. Yeah, all that stuff we're supposed to say at the end of these videos on YouTube. Definitely do it. Ivan, take us away.
Yeah, man. Like you said, like, subscribe if you like the content, share, reach out to us. You can find us on Instagram, AI for Entrepreneurs. Definitely sign up for our guy Devon's Bombily event. You'll see the link below. For your entrepreneur, networking, getting free information is a huge aspect to shortcutting the process and reaching your ultimate level as quick as possible. That's it. That does it for another episode of AI for Entrepreneurs. This is episode 11. We'll see y'all next week for episode 12. Shout out again to Devon. We out. Peace.